Hey guys, what's up? What's up? JJ here. So I took lately a little view on the current top leaders, where you can see that it's usually Gwent up. And I was thinking I might do maybe a little bit of an in-depth guide for the top deck or the top deck, which is out there currently. Like you see in the infographic there, we have Krach and Crate leading this week's Gwent Up meta report with solid 54%. And when I was going over the percentages, I figured out it's just a Greatsword deck. So what you're gonna see in the following video is some Greatsword gameplay. I'm trying to explain the deck as good as I can and why I took certain cards in there. Hope you enjoy the guide, guys, or me playing Gwent in general. See you guys. Hey guys, what's up? So here we are. I already built the Krach and Crate Greatsword deck. Just giving you some deck insight. On the left of the screen you see the deck list. You're free to copy it if you want to. Maybe a little bit of an odd Greatsword list. Yeah, maybe going over the deck tech choices or what I think is good at the moment. I think muzzle is just very nice in a Greatsword deck because this is kind of your engine, the Greatsword, right? So I would like to muzzle my Greatswords back if they get muzzled or destroyed, whatever. Yeah, maybe the oddest thing is like Olgierd. You can include him if you want to have a Joker against Goyatel and maybe a second Cursed Minion for Skjold, also making him resurrectable for Sigdrifa. Champion of Hoth is just in there. It's nice against Imlerith Sabbath decks. That's pretty much why I have him there. And he's most of the time just 14 stats silver. And the Brawl slot. A Brawl slot being kind of, yeah, maybe a little bit off. Like I think the super engines are the captains, the whole Armada package basically. The captains, Corsair, Longship. Like if you guys are using Gwent up, you can see the percentages or the win percentages for these cards are very good. I just don't know how good the Spare Maiden and the Priestress are. If you want to have 3 Priestress or Spare Maidens. But this guide here, or this Let's Play, is more about how you play the deck, actually. I haven't refined it myself. Although I do think the gold slot is pretty neat, and the Skjold into Spike package is also pretty sweet. So I will just go into a game here. Sure. Maybe play one ranked game. Let's see how this goes. And go with you guys over the Mulligans a little bit. Give you some information how you Mulligan with this deck, what you want to achieve, how you outstat your opponent. Yo. Probably Dagon Deathwish, huh?
Uncrate!
Nah. Yeah, here we are. I mean, that you keep the gold cards is without saying. But the important thing is that you know your deck list while mulliganing, or what is strong in the beginning. And blacklisting obviously is an important part of that one. So you want to have this Greatsword into boat package. What is very nice about the Krach and Crate, he's gonna pull you either Olgierd or a Greatsword, but you want him to pull a Greatsword, but him is gonna pull you the Olgierd. So what you want to blacklist here is usually the Corsairs, because they are, since they're Resurrectors, late game cards. You want to have one Greatsword in a deck, so you can pull it with your hero. So you mulligan that one. And you mulligan a Priestress, because they are pretty useless in the early game. So this is what we get. Going second. Yeah, we all know it's an issue. Yeah. So what we are facing off here is just the usual Dagon Deathwish stuff. Since we are going second, we can have a smooth walk. What we have here is several options. If we play Greatsword, we know it will be damaged. That's pretty good, usually. And... yeah. Just... either you bring the Greatsword online here, is option number 1. You can also muzzle that for about 18 stats value in hindsight. Or you can pull the Allgeared, although pulling the Allgeared is the only mechanic which doesn't include an engine. So I would play either the Greatsword or the muzzle here. And I think the muzzle on the plant is very, very good. Since we also steal his Deathwish units. So let's see how he reacts on that one. It's kind of annoying for them because they also have the Brewers and they do want these Arc Spore or Deathwish units in their
You wouldn't want to hurt us, would you?
Safe pass, Kappa. There's no safe pass since this is gonna grow here. So what he's gonna follow up with is his werewolves probably. So we have the option of either bringing a Greatsword online followed up by a ship. Which is pretty sweet, I think. Option number 2 would be giving him the spy. That means you would have to create... he loses 2. Yeah, like the hero would bridge these stat gaps. So we could give him the spy here, maybe net card advantage. I like trying it very often. Because if they don't have the spy, it's just a big problem for them.
The gods won't be pleased.
Obviously taking the wild boar. Like if he passes here, we can just use the hero. Which would be 16 stats. I think that's actually not it, the hero. Him into Skjold is 17 stats, bringing us to 24. He's thinking about the pass, right? I guess. So we can do the human to Skjold thing. Brings us Skjold into Allgeared, being 14 stats, 17 stats, 24. He goes to 23 here, and even taking 1 damage, so to 22. So I like that quite a lot.
We'll go at him together!
Gets 2 stats, but enough. So we already got our card advantage, which is pretty sweet. So we got this little problem here that we don't have anything in our graveyard yet. That makes the Demon Corsairs obviously worse. This should also be the Mulligan of your choice here, since it's kind of useless.
Death holds no surprises.
So again, several options, but I think that we get here our first Greatsword going would be very important. Also keep in mind that you usually want to get the Greatsword first because it has a 2-turn ticker. So you pull the Greatsword first or play it and then use the ship on it. And what we can do here is just pull the Greatsword. Usually he can't create 20 stats out of nowhere. So let's go with that. Putting everything into one row because of weather, probably.
You've got the heart of an uncrate.
And this guy keeps ticking. Good thing is if he weathers these great swords, that's very much in our interest. What you could say here that he maybe wants to muzzle it. It's not too unlikely. So if you maybe want to play around muzzle, you could play the wild boar here. So this goes to 9 and then resets. Talking about hindsight, I think it's also the right thing to do. Otherwise, I would just set up another greatsword. But not a big fan of that now. So making muzzle much worse for him here, and also probably we are creating a big problem for our friend. Yeah. Playing around muzzle with this deck.
Come to me.
Yeah. The nice thing what we can do now, like this greatsword will always take damage and grow on its own. And his deck doesn't have much tempo, and we also need to kind of work on our graveyard. So what I would like to do here is eventually setting up another greatsword, making it grow as well. Followed up by a ship probably. The good thing about the greatsword again, you play around muzzle, playing it on the left of the wild boar. So that's something sweet you can do.
Uncrate!
What is particularly strong about this deck, you have a quite solid snowball engine with a good stat finisher, because these greatswords, they're getting pretty big, you know. Now we already have a double chain ticking there. So this greatsword already reached a certain grow. What you can do here, since we want to get these ships into the graveyard, which is very important, you can just start damaging it, which you also need to do.
Told you it'd be worth it.
Also thinning the deck a little bit. Nice thing, again, it goes up to 9, no muzzle target. Yeah, but this is not a problem. So he kills this greatsword. I would say we can either resurrect it, or we play in our ships, since we do still need ships in the graveyard. That's a question. But I think we can very much resurrect it. Since we have the ship chain going already, we could also go with another greatsword here, but this one can be muzzled now. So yeah, I would like to get the greatsword online again.
We serve her who is virgin, mother, and crone.
Yeah, you have to keep row limit kind of in mind here, since
I
you're
sense
having
strong magic.
should be alright. Since we're having the row limit. Sure. So now we're Cyclops, huh? The good thing is, like, if the ships get strengthened, that's also not exactly bad. Since we are going to resurrect these ships as well, you know? So, and this guy is also getting bigger. So, that guy died. Yeah, probably just setting up another ship here. Like, there's no reason to pass while we have a growing greatsword. I'm just a little bit afraid that if I play this, it gets muzzled. Although it wouldn't be the worst part in the world anymore. So I'm gonna play this soon, probably.
Ledwed varledo sial
The fog is not doing exactly much here, and he has no death wish units online. That means his Brewers is dead. So since I just saw Giles and the Woodland Spirit and Triss, I would expect his last gold to be the Brewers. So I think we can just play on here.
I once lopped off 3 heads with 1 blow.
And he's just growing, obviously. Getting the ships there. Sweet. Just playing another ship. No reason to stop playing here. What you have to watch out with this deck sometimes is to play around Igni, but that's really the only part. That's a nice coral target usually. Just hit. We could use something for some sweet value. He can't Cyclops that. But as I just see, he has a lot of 2-offs, so his last gold might not be Brewis and rather be Sirenova. So what we can do is just either duel something or just coral the 13. Definitely an option. I would duel something for now.
30.
Just this one here. Like when he eats the werewolf, you also know he might be a little bit in trouble, right? That's usually not too good. There. Because they will get back their strength, you know.
That might even be amusing.
They are growing now a lot.
Yield and save me some time.
Yeah, good thing here now we will play with a card up, and he has to play his last card. So yeah, the snowball worked out. We are a card up and we have solid finishers. So here we go. Ooh, some sweet Grandmaster points. Yeah, so I hope I could explain you a little bit closer the mulligans of the deck. Of course I can't cover everything, but I hope I gave you a general idea. See you guys on next video. I'm out.